Good day, viewers, and welcome to another OnsideSA Soccer Show. Paul is away at the National Yearling Sales in Johannesburg, so joining me is our regular super sub, Manning Rangers League winner, Gavin Radford. Gav,
morning,
welcome.
Butch. Good to be here again.
Nice to have you.
I hope Paul comes back with a decent
crop
up
of
at the sales. Yeah.
Before we crack on with our last one standing, I've got to ask you, a lot of chaos in England about the Son Oscar. Was it a free kick or wasn't it?
Yeah, but the players are becoming such prima donnas nowadays. They just fall to the ground for anything, and the referees are getting condemned to all these fouls. For me, it's not a foul. I mean, you can. Where do we draw the line with the players? I mean, the song falls to the ground and he's on the ground for 3 minutes with two physios standing around him, and then he gets up 2 seconds later and he scores. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The FA got to do something about it.
Yeah. Sadly, I think the players, everybody's got to sit down and get the rules sorted out. You see the second part of the foul, he definitely catches him in the face. But the first part, Son is grabbing him. So
my argument was on the Saturday, you had the Newcastle game where the player almost had his head kicked off in the small box trying to header it.
Burnley,
so the player's foot is not in the natural position. That's what they keep saying.
Yeah.
So then how can they then give the free kick against McTominay? Yeah. You know, it's just ridiculous. They've got to draw the line somewhere.
And the sad thing is about that penalty was anywhere on the pitch it's a foul, but in the big box it isn't.
100%.
Anyway, we crack on as always with our last one standing competition. We've got 2 competitions running, but in the old competition we had 17 entries going through to round 9. 11 succeeded with Arsenal, 2 went through with Liverpool, and 1, a brilliant pick of Hassan Mauls, was on West Brom. Unfortunately, 2 went out with Burnley, and how Man City went out, I still cannot believe they couldn't beat 10-man Leeds United for an entire half. The guys left. Sean Matthew is still our favourite, who's unbelievably still got 3 entries, while all of Hassan Maul, Gavin Wright, Peter Barker, Graham Hawkins, Rodney van Rensburg, Grant Fraser, Des Faree, Sean Singleton, Nigel Swinbank, Bruce Armstrong, and our reigning champion, Sean Phillips, has still survived.
Jeez. It's a long way into the competition for these guys still to be going, and I see Appy's in there as well, so good luck to him.
Great achievement. Our new competition started off with 562. There was carnage after week 1, where we only had 251 left. Carnage again, where only 138 entries survived. Man City took out 79. Everton took out 13. Burnley 11. Southampton 6. Fulham and Leicester both took out 2. The successful guys were 40 were on Liverpool, 62 cruised through when Arsenal beat Sheffield United, 28 went through with Chelsea, 4 on Wolves, 2 on Man United, and 1 each on Newcastle and West Ham. Of the picks, Sean Matthews having an unbelievable run. He still has a full complement of 10, while Greg Pesci from Hollywood has gone to round 3 with 5 out of 5. These guys have all got 3 entries left. Clint Heap, Gary Foree, Gary Citron, Greg Petzer, Tyrell Matthew, and Phil Giorgio. Our ladies competition, which is sponsored by Gary Green Sector Apparel, has a R1,000 gift voucher. We started off with 15 ladies, and after round 2, we only have 3 left. Doro Roussos, Renee Roos, and Carol Whitehead are still going. A word of help to Carol, please don't listen to your husband Garth. Our picks of the week go to 4 guys, Eddie Lloyd and Wayne Weiss, who selected Man United to beat Tottenham. Graham Ace Clark, who unbelievably found Newcastle to beat Burnley, while Colonel Greg van Rooyen was successful when West Ham beat Leicester City. Our current favourite is Bafana captain Neil Tovey, who has survived into round 3. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on young Camden O'Connor, who's reached the 3rd round, and I think he could be a dark horse in the competition. We are now going to cross over to our Fulham studios with our man Stevie Braham. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Buzz. Morning, Gav.
Morning, Steve. Just going through our last one standing, and unbelievably, you're still in.
Absolutely. I could be a dark horse this competition.
Yeah, it could be a dark horse, Steve. Steve, no, we'll kick off with Champions League Tuesday night. You obviously watched the PSG Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I mean, tremendous game. I mean, again, great entertainment, great value. Bayern must be kicking themselves because to have lost Lewandowski and Gnabry, before they went into that tie, I'm sure had they both or either played, they would have taken some of the chances they created.
Yeah,
but fair play to PSG. They defensively in both games they really dug in and put their bodies on the line, and I think just about edged it with the quality of their forward play as well.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're going to sit 7 at the back and leave Di Maria, Mbappe and Neymar up front, and I think that'll be the trend against Man City. How do you see that?
I think so very much, and City have got to be conscious of that. They've got to be patient, but they can't afford to be too cavalier and let sort of Mbappe sort of have too many one-on-one opportunities at running at the defence. So you hope that from our point of view that Pep has studied the way that they play and can win out over the two legs.
Yeah, the other game looked a little bit disappointing. I was fixated on the Bayern game. Chelsea ended up getting beat 1-0.
Yeah, I think obviously it was a last minute goal, but pretty dour performance. They did enough. Again, I think a lot of people thought Porto were the weakest team left in the competition potentially. So I think Chelsea got a tougher game in the semi-final coming up.
Well, half of Durban is in mourning after Liverpool didn't progress last night. I watched a lot of it. For me, their biggest problem, everyone complains about their back four. But if their strikers can't score those handful of chances they miss, they're not going to reach the top four, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the early stages and, they had one or two good chances very early on. And you just felt that they needed a goal to settle their nerves. The chances were rushed. They on the whole, apart from Salah occasionally, they just lost their clinical sort of edge in recent months, and confidence. And it is a confidence thing. And players who are finding the back of the net are just struggling to do so. And as the game wore on, I had both on. As the game wore on, they looked less and less like they were going to break down Real's defence.
Yeah, they can't blame the back four for this one. Definitely the guys are getting all the money, and I can't believe how many Salah's missing. The Dortmund-Man City game, I only watched 10 minutes of it when there was an injury in the Liverpool game. Man City looked totally in control. How did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, look, to be fair, very early on, Dortmund started well. They got a great goal, had a couple of good opportunities, and then City got back into the game. Probably must have felt at half-time, how they were still only 1-0 down, but they got the rub of the green with a penalty. But afterwards, they were by far the better team and thoroughly deserved over the two legs.
Yeah, all right, Steve, I'm going to put you on the spot. PSG, Man City, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Who's the finals for you?
Just based on what I've seen, I think City can do it. I think this could be Pep's year. I think City, Real Madrid.
City, Real Madrid, eh? Okay, haven't really been impressed with you.
They got too much know-how, and Chelsea, a lot. I mean, we may be pleasantly surprised, but to me, they haven't really been setting the world alight. Even though they've got a good run under Tuchel, I don't think they've been playing at that higher level they need to. So.
Okay. All right, well, we've got a couple of weeks to sit and ponder about it.
Yeah.
Steve, on to the Premiership. It kicks off on Friday evening. Everton hosting Tottenham. How do you see that going?
Yeah, I mean, Everton have been a little disappointing recently. I mean, they've had games in hand and an opportunity to get back as close to that top four. So I think they'll be disappointed. Tottenham were well beaten by United last weekend.
Yeah.
I think this is these games coming up. Tottenham got 2 games coming up in the next week. If they fail to win them, they could find themselves adrift of that top 4 position, and I think that's going to be very, very hurtful for them and for Mourinho. It's the sort of game Tottenham have got to go and look to win. I mean, the draw doesn't really help either team.
Yeah.
But I've just got a feeling I can't see Everton beating them. I think the Tottenham are going to go for it, but I think it's going to be close. To me, either an away win or a draw there.
Okay, well, can you remember the FA Cup game? I think it was one of the best games of the season where Everton beat them in extra time.
Yeah.
Anyway, Newcastle-West Ham, crucial game at the bottom of the league, especially for Newcastle. While West Ham, Champions League aspirations, can they continue their fine run?
They can do, but I have to say, I mean, Newcastle have just, for the first time since the early season, they found a little bit of form. And the results have just been going for them recently.
Yeah.
So I think with the confidence they got of getting that last-minute equaliser against Tottenham and a win at Burnley, I think they're going to be hard to beat at home. But West Ham, all of a sudden find themselves in that sort of fourth-place position and thinking, they could maybe hang on to this.
Yeah.
They rode their luck against Leicester in the second half for sure, but they've got the players to do it. And the way Jesse Lingard is playing at the moment, I wouldn't be at all surprised. I think they could definitely go there and get a result.
Okay, now one team that's been woeful of the last few weeks, and a lot of last one standing picks are going to be on them, or against them, should I say, is Wolves Sheffield United. Are Wolves good things?
Well, you'd expect them to win that. I mean, Sheffield United have just, have pretty much thrown in the towel now. I mean, they can't score. They, when they go goal behind, their heads seem to drop. I think and the writing's been on the wall for them for a few weeks. You just can't see anything other than a home win there. You'd like to see Sheffield United sort of put up a bit of a fight in going into the last few games, because obviously, I guess they want to sort of be one of the teams that has some of the lowest points when they've been relegated. But I can't see anything bar a home win.
Steve, you don't think Neto being out might hurt Wolves' chances of winning this game?
Look, they can, but Sheffield United have just been so porous at the back and they just can't score. Yeah. And Wolves are, don't give away much themselves. So I don't think there'll be many goals in it, but I just think Wolves might just have enough to sort of get that. Even one would be enough to win that game.
Okay, now your boys Fulham, I think their key game will be tonight. Arsenal going to play in the Europa League. You're obviously funking for a Arsenal victory.
Yeah, look, I hope Arsenal do well tonight, but they've got to play their strongest team. This is a big game for them, and therefore, if they play their strongest team, they're playing away in Europe. It gives us half a chance to maybe get something at the Emirates. I think the best we can probably do. Unfortunately, we need to win, and I can't see us doing that. I think the best we can probably do is hold Arsenal to a draw, which we might be able to do. If we play like we have done away for most of the last few months. But I think picking up a point here or there just isn't enough at the moment. But I can see Arsenal having a really tough game in Prague tonight.
Yes.
I'd like to see them get through, but I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they go through, they may relax a bit and help you. And the final game is Monday night. I think this is a trick game. Leeds United hosting Liverpool. Can Leeds upset another top team?
Well, they play well against City. I think Liverpool obviously going to lick their wounds, but Liverpool have got to start winning some league games. If they, their season would be a disaster if they don't get into that top four place. And there are a few points; they're not that far off adrift. So I think they've just got to sort of forget what's happened last night and go for it. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if they get a result, but you're just not sure what you're going to get with Leeds. I mean, they, as I say, they played very well. I did well to hold City last week.
Yeah. Steve, you seem to have gone missing there.
Oh,
sorry. Okay, no, you're back. Sorry, it just seemed to go dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fancy Liverpool. Steve,
I think this is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Liverpool. Sorry, the FA Cup seems to be forgotten, I don't know why, by a lot of top clubs. But Saturday, Chelsea hosts Man City, and what could be the winner? How do you see that go?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's like with everything that's going on with Europe and with the Premier League, the FA Cup, just
Euros.
Because of rounds being played during the week and no replays, it has almost become one of the forgotten competitions, which is such a shame. I can see City winning this. I think it'll be close. You might even go to extra time, but I can see. Again, Chelsea obviously had a toughish game during the week. City had, but then City can rotate a bit as well.
Yeah.
Players like Sterling, who really only came on for 5 minutes last night, can start. So I think it'll be close, but I think City will just be a little bit too strong.
Okay, the other semi-final, Leicester Southampton.
Well, I thought Southampton were just woeful the other night against West Brom.
Yeah.
And you think, Leicester have obviously, were asleep in the first half against West Ham, but, they finished a lot stronger. I think that the players, as you know, were dropped because of the COVID breach, but I understand that they will be back and available for somebody like Maddison, should be back in the team. I think they'll be a little bit too strong for Southampton, so I'm pumping for a Leicester win there. So you could end up with a City-Leicester final, which will be a repeat of the 1969 game.
That's great. And the guy that played for our local team, Durban City, Tony Coleman, he played in the game. Always remember, he lived in our flats, told us 1,000,000 times. Steve, last but not least, the championship. I've got a few games for you. Will Watford be too strong for Luton?
They should be. I mean, it is a derby.
Yeah.
They haven't played each other much in recent years, but it used to be a very passionate derby. Obviously, there are no fans there. You know, Watford can almost sense that, can smell promotion. And I think this is the sort of game. Luton are not a bad side at home, but I think the way Watford are playing, they're just doing enough to win games.
Yeah.
I think another 3 points for Watford here, and they got 1 foot in the Premier League.
Okay. Notts Forest at home against Huddersfield?
Yeah, I fancy Forest strongly here. I mean, Huddersfield last time out away from home, shipped 7. I think Forest are just doing enough now. They're pulling away from the bottom of the table. I think Forest should win that.
And last but not least, a big game in the Championship. Will Norwich City secure their promotion by beating Bournemouth?
I think it's going to be. I think Bournemouth have just started to pick up, and if you see where they are now, they're they're comfortable in that playoff place. I have a feeling that Norwich are up, all bar the shouting. Yeah. I think that Bournemouth might pull off. But wouldn't be at all surprised if they get a result there. I don't think it will stop Norwich going up, and I think Bournemouth are just starting to find their feet again.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're the dark horses to win the promotion playoff. Steve, you've been on a roll, both in last one standing and with your best bets. You're going for 4 in a row. Who are you going for this week?
Yeah, I'm going to go as my best bet. I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
And actually, again, just maybe a little bit controversial, but I'm going to go for Bournemouth as my value bet. I just think they're playing well.
Yeah.
They're playing well, and they've got the bit between their teeth. And actually, it's starting to look like the 3 teams that came down could be the 3 teams that could go up. Because I just think Bournemouth are looking as if they could go into the playoff places as that team in form.
Yeah. Okay, it does make sense. Steve, thank you very much. Remember, get studying. If you want to use a Friday game for last one standing, please let me know. But if not, Saturday will be closing time. Steve, all the best. Good luck for the weekend.
Cheers, Steve. Bye.
All the best.
Bye, Gav. Bye, Budge.
Well, that's our UK correspondent, Stevie Braham. A lot of pressure on his team, Fulham, Gav.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Fulham. I think they played there quite a few games at a high level, and now they seem to just be coming over that crest again on the way down.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not going to happen, but these teams do go through these highs and lows, and I think maybe they're on the way down again.
Yeah, crest of a
Tough
slump,
game
that's
for
what it looks like. They just can't score at home, and that's what's killing them. Anyway, we'll start off with our Premiership views kicking off on Friday. Gav, Everton, Tottenham.
Well, Everton is very disappointing. You lost 8 games, have lost 5, drawn 2 and won 1.
Yeah.
It's not the form that you want to do to get into the top 6 for Europe. I mean, they should be fighting. But I'm still saying that I don't like Tottenham as a team. I think their soccer has become so bad under Mourinho. I'm actually going to lean towards Everton in the draw.
Yeah, I just think the betting looks a bit wayward. The only thing is Everton have only won 1 game at home in their last 8. But when you watch Tottenham, I think he's lost the change room. I think they're trying, but I just don't think there's a much like the spirit. You look at Man United's spirit, I think Spurs are way off. I think it draws a player there. Now, Newcastle have only lost 1 of the last 4 at home. Can you see them upsetting West Ham?
You know, on West Ham's form, I don't see it happening. I mean, Lingard has been a revelation there at the moment. I think he's been given the freedom to do his thing, and it's suiting him down to the ground. West Ham free-flowing at the moment, so you would think that West Ham, on current form, will have this beat. But Newcastle fighting for every point.
Yeah.
I could see this also landing up as a draw, but I'll be leaning towards West Ham.
Yeah, I saw yesterday Lingard 15-10 to be any-time goal scorer. Can you believe that?
He scored more goals in 8 games than in 8 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that tells you his form at the moment, so it's excellent.
Yeah, good luck to him. Now, the trick game for a lot of people this weekend is Wolves at home to Sheffield United. Gav, are you taking 7-10?
No, I'm not convinced with Wolves. My boy Neto is injured.
Okay.
I really like him. I think he's a great player. Only 21 years old. I think he's the type of player that I could see playing at United. That's how highly I think of him. But Wolves, for me, have just start the whole season. They just haven't got into any type of rhythm. Sheffield United, we know their history. They've been poor this year. But a game like this, you know, it's looking like Wolves to win it, but I'm leaning towards the draw big time, yeah.
I think 7-10 is a gift. But anyway, I agree. They don't score that many goals, Wolves. On to our second page where we've got Arsenal-Fulham. To me, Arsenal's season lays tonight in the Europa League. If they get a result, they may take the foot off the brake. If they don't, I fear for Fulham.
Yeah, I think Arsenal in this game and the game tonight, they have to play their full squad.
Yeah.
I think the score is 1-1 at the moment, conceding that last minute. So they have to play a full squad. They have to go for it. You can't sit back and think a 0-0 is going to help you because they'll go out and away goals. So they have to put a lot of effort into this game. They might suit Fulham for the weekend. Maybe Fulham can get something out of the game, but they're also struggling a little bit. But 7-10 Arsenal at home, you would think should be too strong.
Yeah, now Man United boys, we play tonight. We've got several injuries, or we've got a lot of guys suspended for tonight. 1-3. Burnley got a good record at Old Trafford. Can you see an upset?
These teams come to United and they sit back and they make it difficult for us because they know that we like to play in the counter attack. And I see Ollie's been chirping on Sky that they've changed the boarding around the field to blue. So it sounds like a bit of a Southampton, Ferguson scenario all over again. But 1-3, United should win the game. They're in good form, but I wouldn't be taking 1-3.
Yeah, neither would I. Burnley always give us a hard time, and they always score at Old Trafford. So that would be my play, even money both teams to score. Now, if ever there's an upset this weekend, I think this could be at Leeds United against Liverpool. How do you see it?
Well, funny enough, I tipped Leeds to get a point last week, and when I saw 10 men, I thought, this is all over. This is going to be open gate second half. But they dug in and they hung in there for the whole game, frustrated Man City. Liverpool have to win. There's no other way for Liverpool. They have to win the game to get into that top four. So games like this, they're going to have to really buckle down. The three boys up front need to start scoring. They're just not finding any type of rhythm to their game. And last year they were just banging goals in for fun. I'm leaning towards Liverpool to win this game. It'll be a tough game for them, but I think Liverpool will sneak it.
Yeah, one thing you know about Leeds United, you're definitely going to run the comrades when you play against them. We're going to go on to the FA Cup semi-final, which seems to me to be the forgotten trophy. But this looks the final in the making, Chelsea-Man City. Man City, good things?
I mean, they should be good things, but I think they're going to be resting a few players coming off this game midweek. I don't think they'll have the same squad out there. Like I say, Sterling will come back in and a few other boys will come back in. Yeah. But you would think that Man City have it over Chelsea. I think just their bench will be that much stronger. So I'm leaning towards Man City.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling this could go into extra time. So I'll be taking 26-10 the draw. Chelsea, the last time they played was under Frank Lampard. They were woeful. Thomas Tuchel will have them tactically ready. And if Kante picks up Kevin De Bruyne, this could be an upset. They play a similar style. If they defend well, Chelsea, I think they could cause an upset. Now, Leicester, to me, their key player is Soyuncu, the centre-half. He got COVID. He had to stay in Turkey. Their previous two efforts were woeful. And Southampton, I made them the best bet last week at a nice double going in. They got destroyed by West Brom.
Yeah, this is my best bet of the weekend, Leicester City. I think this is the absolute certainty. If you're looking on current form, it's a no contest. I think Leicester, they finished the game so strong last week when they realised that if we get one, we might be back in it. And then they got a second, and you can see they were starting to really start pushing the game forward. For me, Leicester, I think all the way 9-10, great
9-10 in your bets.
100%.
Okay, we now go on to the Championship, where I'll go through it on my own. Kick off on Friday night, 7 o'clock, where Blackburn host Derby. Two strangely out-of-form teams. I was all over Blackburn early in the year. They've only won one of the last 15 league games, while at home they haven't won in 8. But Wayne Rooney's Derby County have lost 5 of the last 6 away from home. They've only won 1 out of their last 10 league games. Don't know how to see it, but to sit on the fence, I think 23-10 the draw looks definitely worth an interest. Reading Cardiff should be a cracker. Both teams were in the promotion playoff, but they've fallen short lately. Cardiff away from home have only lost 1 of the last 9, but Reading at home have won 3 and drawn 1 of the last 4. Both teams to score here looks a certainty. I back Derby to get involved in the playoffs, but I doubt it. To me, 12-10 Reading is worth an interest. Brentford have to catch up. They've got a game in hand on automatic promotion, but they're playing a Millwall team who have won 4 of their last 6. This has upset written all over it. Brentford have got to go for it. I don't like lunchtime kickoffs. I don't see Brentford losing, but the draw has to be worth including in your exotics. I'm all over Watford. They've won 7 and drawn 1 of their last 8. They're on fire. Luton are inconsistent. I didn't know it was a bitter derby, but from what I've seen of Luton, they've won 3, lost 3 of the last 6. They've won 2 and lost 2 of the last 4 at home. Watford 8-10 all day for me. On to the second page, Middlesbrough host a QPR team who let me down in midweek. QPR going well. I thought they'd get involved in the playoffs, but away from home, they've only won 1 of the last 6. Middlesbrough, difficult to beat at home. They've won 2 and drawn 2 of the last 4. Even money looks a bit short to me, but I definitely don't see them losing. Notts Forest, I agree with Steve. He's made them their best bet. They have come right. They've only lost 1 of their last 6. And facing a Huddersfield team who have won 1 of their last 8 and have lost 4 of the last 6 away from home, I definitely agree that Notts Forest should be good things. 2 woefully out of form teams, should I say. Sheffield Wednesday in the relegation mix. They got beat at home by Swansea in midweek. While Bristol City, I don't know what to make of them. They've lost 7 in a row at home. They've won 1 of the last 8. Terrible game. I can see why Sheffield Wednesday are 11-10 favourites, but I definitely include the draw in all my exotics. My beloved Preston travelled to Stoke City. We got thumped 5-0 at home by Brentford. We've lost 4 of the last 5 away from home, and playing a Stoke City team who've won 4 of their last 6 at home. I fancy Stoke City as much as my heart says Preston North End, but my money is definitely on Stoke City. On to the third page, Swansea have come right. They've won their last 2 games. Should beat a Wigan team who are bottom. 4-10 looks a good thing. I saw even money to win by more than 1 goal. So that's my play in that particular clash. I agree with Steve on Bournemouth Norwich. Norwich need a point to get promoted, and Bournemouth won their last 5. Hard to see Norwich not getting beat, but definitely the draw I would throw into all exotics. On to Sunday, where Rotherham, who won on Monday night, they beat QPR, but they play Thursday night. They play Coventry at home, and having to play 3 games in 6 days is definitely going to affect them. I fancy Birmingham City to beat them 17-10. I think it's a great price. Lee Boyer's got them going well, and I think they'll upset Rotherham on Sunday. And last but not least, my best bet in the championship is Barnsley. Barnsley are going great. They're sitting in 6th. They've won the last 6 away from home. And while Coventry are dangerous at their home ground, I fancy Barnsley 11-10 to get the result onto Sunday. We now go over to our Nedbank Cup. The big game, Gav, is obviously today at 3 o'clock, where Mamelodi Sundowns host Orlando Pirates. Whoever wins this plays TTM Sunday at home. Obviously, there'll be 1-3, 1-4 to go through. What's your call on today's game?
Yeah, I like Sundowns. I've always been a Sundowns fan. Okay. I think Pirates got 1-2 injuries, so I'm leaning towards Sundowns. I think they're a great team. They've got a good setup. There's nothing that those players need or want. Their form is just flowing. Their football is flowing. Yeah. I think Pirates might just come up against it today. Sundowns for me.
So you'll be taking 13-10 Sundowns.
Thanks for reminding me it's a 3 o'clock game.
Okie dokie. And the other game, Pretoria Kellies versus Chipper?
I think Chipper will get a result. I mean, these second division teams, first division teams that come through, they play their hearts out. Could it be a repeat of the Kaizer Chiefs final 2-3 years ago? But Chipper for me, 9-10. Yeah,
actually, Pretoria Kellies have won their last 2 games on penalties, and Sammy Triton's there, and the last game was on TV. They went to Cape Town. I think it was AX Cape Town they won on penalties. Woeful display of penalties and the pressure. But Chipper, I haven't been impressed with Chipper. They've only won 1 of the last 7, but I think that's your man, Dan, my man. He's still
Dan, my man, Malasella's there.
Of the 2 teams, you've got to fancy them to definitely get through. And Sundowns get through, Gav, too good for TTM?
Yeah, too good for them. Sundowns, good side, Budge.
Okie dokie. We now go on to our soccer exotics for the weekend, and we kick off with a Gold Circle Soccer 6. First leg, I've thrown the draw in with West Ham United at Newcastle United. I'm going the field in the Wolfsburg versus Bayern Munich clash, hoping that Bayern will suffer a Champions League fallout. I've thrown the draw, and I still think Chelsea can upset Man City, so I've gone the field in the Man City-Chelsea game. I've gone Norwich City, win and draw at home against Bournemouth, and ended with 2 bankers. Wolverhampton Wanderers to beat Sheffield United, and Barcelona to win the Spanish Cup against Athletic Bilbao 2-1-6. On to the Pumalela Soccer 6 pool, mainly Italian teams. I'm going Udinese, win and draw at Crotone. I'm going Chipper United to avoid defeat against Pretoria Kellies. I don't see Hellas Verona losing at Sampdoria. I'm going Wolverhampton Wanderers to beat Sheffield United. The Glasgow Derby, which is being played on Sunday, I don't see Rangers losing to Celtic. And I've had to side with a team, so I'm going the draw and Man City at 192. Our Gold Circle Soccer 10. I'm going West Ham United to avoid defeat at Newcastle. I'm going with the field in the Wolfsburg Bayern Munich game. I'm going Brentford, win and draw at home against Millwall. I think Watford will be too good for Luton Town. I'm going Nottingham Forest, throwing the draw in there because they've let me down too often, to avoid defeat at home against Huddersfield Town. Our second page says us bankering Swansea City to beat Wycombe Wanderers. I'm going the field again in the Chelsea-Man City fixture. I'm going Norwich City, win and draw at home against Bournemouth, and ending with Wolverhampton Wanderers to be too good for Sheffield United, and Barcelona to beat Athletic Bilbao 288. On to the Soccer 13, which is a mixed barrel this weekend. I'm going Man City, win and draw against Chelsea. I'm bankering Wolverhampton to beat Sheffield United. I'm going Norwich City, win and draw at home against Bournemouth. Into League One, I'm going AFC Wimbledon, win and draw in the relegation battle against Swindon Town. I'm chancing Oxford United to beat Gillingham. I'm going for Walsall to avoid defeat at Colchester United. I think Barcelona will be too good for Athletic Bilbao. I think Sassuolo will beat struggling Fiorentina. In a desperate game, I think Parma will avoid defeat against Cagliari. I'm bankering Marseille to beat Lorient. And I'm going for Bayer Leverkusen to beat FC Cologne. And going Aberdeen, win and draw in the cup against Livingston. And I'm going for Genk to avoid defeat at second place Antwerp, 256. On to our budgies bets for the weekend. I'm going West Ham to beat Newcastle. I'm going Wolves to beat Sheffield United by more than 1 goal. And I'm going Leeds United, win or draw at home on Monday against Liverpool, 2,400 to 200. Our team only goal, I'm going West Ham, Wolves, Leeds United and Swansea City, all to score over 1.5 goals. So they've got to score a minimum of two goals. 17.5 to 1 I thought was great value. So 3,500 to 200 was our bet. On to the Championship. I'm going for Barnsley to be too good for Coventry City. I'm going for Watford to win at Luton Town. I'm going Swansea City to beat Wycombe Wanderers and both teams to score no. And Birmingham City to win a draw at Rotherham on Sunday, 2,100 to 200. Both teams to score sides are Brentford Millwall, Norwich City Bournemouth, Reading Cardiff, and Sheffield Wednesday Bristol City, 2,500 to 200. This week we've got a Spanish bet, and I'm going Atletico Madrid to return to winning ways against Eibar. I think Real Betis, which is my best bet of the weekend, will beat Valencia at home. And I think there'll be goals in the Levante Villarreal and Real Sociedad Sevilla matches. 11-1, 2,200 to 200. And our Collis King, 6 or Nixa. I'm going Wolves to beat Sheffield United, Leicester to beat Southampton in the FA Cup, Swansea to beat Wycombe Wanderers, Atletico Madrid to beat Eibar, Real Madrid to beat Valencia, and Lazio to beat Benevento Calcio, 3,600 to 200.
Well, good luck to those guys in the Soccer 13, because that looks quite a hard one this week. If you catch a Soccer 13, good luck. My best bets for the weekend, Swansea City at home and Leicester City. I think those two will come home. I think that's a good double.
Swansea City and FA Cup. Man City, Chelsea, you're all over Man City, eh?
Yeah, Man City. I think Man City will go through. I think Pep's looking for all the trophies.
Okay.
And the players have got a good mindset there to win all these trophies. So, Man City always going to be competitive in them.
All right.
Be a good game.
Last but not least, Champions League winner, Gav, who are you going for?
Champions League, I'm going to say Real Madrid will use their experience and get through to win it.
No chance. I've been all over PSG from the jump. I cowered out when I saw the draw. Time for Neymar to turn up and repay his fans. To everybody for watching, thank you very much, and please remember to stay on side.